Good morning. Sunday morning, 5:22 a.m. in the North Pacific. I've been looking at the ocean lots. Yeah, like to go fishing. Thanks for thumbs up. And no one's here. That's weird. YouTube's weird. Yeah. Put up a hawk video yesterday. Flew in the house here right after the little birds. He's Cooper's hawk. I think it's a Cooper's hawk. I could be wrong. There's all kinds of littler type hawks. And this was a juvenile, and he was hungry. And I've seen him before grab birds here, and I've seen him a couple times bump right into the window. So you clean the window, and they bump into it. Well, this time he came right in here, chasing his prey, and he went through the dining room to the kitchen, and he got trapped in there. He didn't know where to go. He was very young. Lynn T, good morning. Good morning, Lynn T. There you go. Yeah. So that was yesterday, and I didn't. I wanted to feed him so he would hang around, but I think that's against the law to feed the wildlife. So I didn't, because I have all kinds of meat there. Oh, it is Linty. Oh, wow, you got nice flowers. Wow, those look like honeysuckles or something. Hmm, beautiful. I have to get over there right away too, because now I'm seeing flowers. Good morning, Linty. Mm. Oh, it's very good coffee. Yep. Had to turn the heat on. It dropped down to, I think it was like 2 last night or something like that. Thank you. They're poppies and hollyhocks. How are you doing today? I'm doing all right. Get another day, so doing all right. So you don't get days anymore. You could be worried. Thank you. Thank you. They're poppies and hollyhocks. Oh yeah, I like hollyhocks. I like poppies too. I grow a bunch of different kinds, and I spread their seed around. It's best to spread the seed around in the winter time. Call me Vi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, good morning, happy Sunday. Looking, there you go. I give out the wrenches while people are here. Go to Vi's channel. I believe I am signed up, and I believe I've been there. Yeah, there you are. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, you got some nice videos. Gonna have to come back. Call me Vi. Going to the RV show. Nice. Very nice. RV is a way to go. It seems to be a big thing now. People are RVing all over America, Canada, South America, even Central America. I see it. Not VI, but Vi. They. Not Vi. Like Kathy. Like they. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at pronunciations. Sorry. Not Vi, but V. V. That I understand. Cheers, V. I'm pronouncing the I when it's not there. Thumbs up. Cheers to you as well. Yeah. So someone said they're going. Yeah, you're going to an RV show. That's very cool. That's big money. I've been to several, and you can spend 150, $200,000 easy. It's like whatever happened to camping or glamping. And if it's my last year on the planet or something, I might blow a couple of $100,000 on an RV. But I went and looked at them. So, you can get, ones that are like, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 too. Prices from 15K to 250 is a shocker. Yeah, it shocked me. I was just like, wow. But you're getting, you're getting a lot. But some of that $200,000 ones, I looked at it and I could push the panel on it, and I'm like, well, I'm spending a lot of money here. Hey, Pilgor, how's it going? Go to your channel, see if it's Pilgor. And it is Pilgor, I think. Yeah. Well, you've got a good channel. And there you go. Save, and good to see you there, Pilgor. Oops. There we go. Go to channel. You give out a wrench, I give it open and I take it back too now, and give it out when people show up. And yeah, I'm subscribed to your channel. Coins. Good morning. Call me. Huh? Call me. Oh. Hi, Lund and Lund. Must be Lynn. Thank you kindly. Hi. Oh, no problem. Anytime. Yeah, RVs. That's a big thing in America, man. A lot of people live in RVs here. Whole like they just move. They constantly are told to move along by the police. They can't park here. They put up signs, no RVing, no this, no that. I'm like, well, I may as well say no earthlings too. So some people they overnight, or they put it in the like big box store parking lot. But even that's becoming testy. I used to be an RV technician. Oh, cool. Very cool. I've owned my own RV before. I used to like campers that go onto a truck. I had a caveman with that old angle iron. Oh boy, she was heavy duty. But he didn't go up and push on it like that and go through it. I mean, you had actual, metal, and on the inside it had nice veneers and insulation. They're very convenient. Well, yeah. The next best thing to me is a cave or a tree house or a dugout. Doesn't take long to dig a cave, maybe a day, depending what substrate you're going through. Depending, if you heat up rock with a blowtorch and hit it with cold water, it'll break it. You might be there a week making your cave the size of a car, and then heat it with a cob oven. That's what caveman did. And that was their first home. And I believe even Jesus hung out in a cave. I mean, it's just out of the elements, and it's lots of protection. It's one way in, and you can see what's going on. And after an amount of time you've been there, you got an escape route if you want to make a nice underground room and a way to leave your cave. Takes a little bit of time, but a cave can be dug in a day. And so you're not building the Taj Mahal or anything. But yeah, I'd much rather be in a nice RV. But if you can't, I mean, caves, there's nothing wrong with caves. Man's first home, cave paintings. You ever see them? It's the first thing they teach you at the military. Whoa, dig that foxhole over there, son. Right there. That's for you. And then that trench over there to that command post. Command post? Oh, that cave. When you got an outpost, an OP, I mean, you're going to want protection. You're going to dig a hole, right? Yeah. Takes a couple of weeks to get used to anything. I used to be in RV Texas. They're very convenient. You have ruins all over Arizona. I got to move my little. I have a magnifier on there. Sometimes it pops out and it's like the words are like bubbly. Ruins are all over Arizona, made like that. Yeah, I bet there is. It's pretty easy to make cob there. Pueblo. And the big thing is the grid, right? So who shows up when you're going on and off the grid? That's what it comes down to. Who's the gatekeeper, right? Hey, Lewis. Same way they made granaries. Granaries. Puff puff pass. Yeah, yeah. It's the Saudi was here on the prairies in Canada. Hi, Lewis. Puff puff pass, Lewis. But yeah, the Saudis and they were mostly Eastern Europeaners that had no money, so they just made a sod house, and it's just cut the prairie sod out. Well, you make a frame of some kind and put the sod against it. You might whitewash the inside with some clay or something, whatever, and then that was your home. You made a little cob oven, or you put in a pipe and a stove drum of some kind or sort. And, it's when people have no choice that they live in a little cubicle somewhere, and generally they're not outside anymore. And after years, they become just a huge porker and unhealthy and die. It's not much for me to look forward to. I don't know what a caliche is. Mhm. But adobe homes are regular around it. Pueblos I read about there, and adobes, Oh, it's that red like clay stuff, and it's nice. You know, you make nice ovens out of it too. That's all you need, really. And a place to grow a bit of food, cave, save lots of radish seeds. It's a type of clay, you know. No matter where you're standing on this planet, within a few feet somewhere to your left or right in the lowlands where clay or minerals that come down, you'll find clay. That's the best building material there is. It's the fastest too. Yes, that's it. The red clay. Yeah. Just gonna grab another coffee there, Pilgor. There you go. Oh my. Need a coffee. I've often thought of building caves and renting them out for $10 a night, like super duper cheap, or even sell it. You make the cave, sell it. All you got to do is leave no sign that you're coming and going, and no one will ever bother you. You start beating the same trail there and stomping all over twigs and breaking them off. I'll find you easy. Right? Thing about a cave, it takes a day or two to build, dig. What, another day to figure out a cob oven? Put a pipe up through the cave roof. Once it's heated up in there and nice and dry, you'll be fine. Yeah. It's very difficult for humans to live here if they have no $1 million home. They live on the street and they become wasted, skeleton like and zombie-ish looking, and then they one day there's a sheet over them, and the police and or their medical people. You see it all the time. You don't see much of it anymore. They carted everybody off. They made this law that they can just cart you off, put you wherever, mental health, right? Poor things are on drugs. It's hard to see. Yes, that's it, Red Clay. We can make homemade bricks. Oh, yeah, big time. Bricks are cool, especially when they're heated up. It's radiant heat, too. Hey, good morning, Danny and Lorraine. Good to see you. I just watched one of your videos. Oh, it was snowing there. That's right. It was raining and then it snowed. I was like, that looks pretty. Like the snow, it looks pretty and everything. But I mean, it's coming down kind of like on a 45 like that. And it's big flakes. I'm like, oh yeah. Here it's in full. It's in full bloom here. All the cherry trees, plum trees, and stuff like that. Yeah, all the ground flowers, tons of different flowers. They do an annual flower count here pretty quick, or if they haven't already, then there's a billions of blooms here. It's quite a flower show here on Southern Vancouver Island. It's very cool to see. Danny Lorraine says, then rain again. Now it's ice everywhere. It was the biggest flakes I'd ever seen. I thought so as well. I mean, and they were like not coming down straight. They were being tossed. So, yeah, we don't hang out in that too long. Call Me Vi says, you had me at radiant heat. The more we can make ourselves, the more we save in this economy. Yeah. Yeah. Looking after yourself, good living. See you, Pilgor. Take care. Yeah. Take care. Good to see you again, Pilgor. Call Me Vi. City in Bloom is an annual competition here in Southern Ontario. Yeah? Well, I've never seen a competition before for blooms, but V, like we. But yeah, that's your name, V. Sorry. It'll take some time. It takes like 130 times to change a pattern in your brain. Once you've learned a pattern, it's like, oh, to change that. Hopefully it only takes like 10 times to remember it, and you're doing really good. Me, it's usually the 130. They're doing the annual flower count here, and the cotton, not cotton, but cotton is on the ground as this yellow carpet. That all just came out about a week or two ago. And I was going to make a video, and I thought, if I had to go around photographing everything that's blooming here, I'd be busy all day long because every day there's something else up. The tulips are up, coming up, and all the hyacinths are up now. The hyacinth and daffodils, like the bulbs, And I had some help. Made some huge flower beds in the food forest yesterday. I'm growing a bunch of flowers for a wedding, so I volunteered some of the forest floor for it to a friend. So, well, actually more family than a friend. I get it. I am old. Get in line. When you're old, you're creaky and you're stiff and you're slower. It's like, oh yeah. Nothing will start to grow here until May for sure. May 24th long weekend. Yeah. Or just May 24th on. You should be able to grow even tomatoes there. Start them inside a month or two earlier. As long as you get that extra month before spring and the month after in somehow, you can pretty much grow anything. Pretty much. And I like you can forage there in Newfoundland. There's no one there to bother you. You can just go out, pick some berries or hunt some ptarmigan or partridges or go get some rabbits. I will start my plants off in my greenhouse in April, March, April, so a month from now. Keep that temps up, nice and warm. They like that. Tomatoes like that warm. So do peppers and eggplant. Them three. Well, of course, they're all nightshades, so limit their use if you can. But they sure taste good. Eggplant Parmesan in the oven. When do you tap your birch trees? March. Well, actually, they would have been earlier, depending on the elevation. Like it's colder and just coming in, the temps coming up in the mountains. The temps already come up around here. But I mean, they've got weird birches here. Hey, they got these things called umbrella birches. They've manipulated. It's like a silver birch, like what you got, and then they've got all these like nodes coming off with branches, and they make an umbrella out of it. So my job one time was to go and keep it looking like tight, like an umbrella, like a mushroom, right? So when you cut it off, it just poured out, and that went on to like April, and then it would stop. So I would take a bunch of the little branches and make them into a pile, and I'd stick a bottle in there, and then I'd tie it on, and then I'd take it off, and I'd have a nice drink of birch water. Hey, it was good. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, tasty. Tastes like root beer, but really weak. That's what I found anyway. But here they don't really tap trees here because it's not the right maple that grows here. For one, it's not a sugar maple. It's the big, huge broadleaf. I mean, monster leaves, and it's different. And the other trees, Gail's Southern Living. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, there you go. We were just talking about a question that was asked, Gail. If you don't know Gail, go over and check her out. I've been to her channel a few times. She goes on, has lives, and it's really, really good people go there. So it's kind of nice to go to make sure it is. Yeah, it is, Gail. Welcome, 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 Gail Southern Living. Yep. Call me Vay. See, it only took like 10 times to figure it out there, Vay. Yeah. Now I've got to call all these other people Vay and Vi, and oh my gosh, Verna. Hey, Dave Knight's here. Good morning, Howie, and everyone in the chat. I had to shut off the heat in the greenhouse. I bet you did. It's pretty warm here too during the day. It's nice and sunny. Yeah, it's no more frost. I put the citrus outside, and some of the lemons fell off, and I hired this guy because he's a professional mover, and he's very good. He moves that. I mean, that's a 100-gallon bucket that's in. It can barely fit through the door. He's a big guy too. He's moving around, and I told him how I do it. Right? I said I can't really lift anything anymore. I don't need to put that much pressure on any of the plumbing. I told him, so he understood. So he's like, oh, okay. And he moved it really well. I couldn't believe it. So, but some of the lemons did come off, but it was to get caught on the tree out front. I have a Honeycrisp, and it's a nice apple. And it grabbed the holes of the lemons, and the lemon bounced off his head. It's a tall lemon tree. It's I don't know, probably a 12-footer, maybe. It could be a lot higher if I let it grow. Yep. Dreaming of warmer weather to plant. Yeah, I'm going to plant my a few things today, like lilies and calendula, calendula, or whatever. I'm going to throw a bunch of that seed around. That kind of, a bunch of gladiolas and some other things I can't remember, but the timing is right for that wedding. So that's why I bought them. And I went, oh, okay. It's just coming into fall or late autumn. That was perfect, especially for around here. Hello, call me Vay. Too cold here. Minus 18. Where are you, girl? Oh, yeah, you're in Ontario. Dreaming of warmer weather to plant. I bet you are. I got to minus 12 Celsius. Had to run propane last night. Holy schmolians, dude. It's March now. Should we warm it up there a bit, some? Good morning, Sean Egros. Cool live stream you had last time there, showing Victory Gardens, and that was cool. The different types of gardening that people do for food. Yesterday, I put in the flower beds. I mean, pretty big flower beds. It took up I think about probably 15%. Nah, not that much. 10% of the food forest floor. So that was interesting. And Victory Gardens, Survival Gardens, Perennial Gardens. Yeah, ones that come back and look after itself is oh, I found a kiwi still on the vine yesterday. And I was just like, oh, it's still good. And I'm like, it went through all that frost and all that cold, and it was still good. And I haven't eaten it. And I found a bunch of potatoes because I had to put these flower beds in. So I hired a guy to help me and dig it. I don't need to put any extra strain on me, even though I dug quite a bit too. Wow, kiwi and potatoes. That's what I harvested yesterday. Well, only one kiwi. I shouldn't say harvested kiwi, but I can certainly say harvest potatoes. And I got a lot of them too. Out of that little patch. I knew they were all in there anyway, because wherever I dig in the food florist floor, I'm going to bump into a few potatoes. So, and then there's always bunny rabbits coming and going. I don't bother them. But if I was hungry, they might get to come into the food forest, but I doubt they'll be leaving. Kiwi ice wine. That's a good point. Years ago, people came through and sold all these farmers kiwi and talked up this story that kiwi is going to be worth money in the future and all these things you can do with it. Well, they grew it, but they didn't like it. It didn't take off. And kiwi's dirt cheap, right? But now kiwi is $1.29 each for each little kiwi. And you might get some for $1 each. So you don't get $1 for an egg here. Well, not yet anyway. It's 50 cents for an egg. 50 cents an egg. More now, I guess. I don't buy the commercial eggs. There's no taste to them anyway. I like the ones that run around, the chickens run around. Those eggs taste good. Yeah, so happy we have our own hens. Smart. What do you have? Some Rhode Island Reds? Because they really like cold, laying in cold, as long as they got protein. What kind of chickens you got? Free ranging are the best. Absolutely. Dual purpose bird is the best. Rhode Island Reds is what I found that worked for me. But I'm in a different part of Canada, so I don't know. Maybe you might have different birds. There's all kind of chickens. Quail are my favorite. We have a barnyard mix. They are outside most of the year. Well, that'll do it. A mix. Yeah. Just think they're crossed. They're hybridizing, right? That's how the Rhode Island Red was found. Well, Rhode Island, right? But it was a Chinese chicken crossed with an Italian chicken, and it ended up Rhode Island. Well, Rhode Island can get below 0 lots, right? And that was the chicken that did the best for eating and laying nice, big, huge eggs, And they lay eggs for a long time too, and they start really quick laying eggs. They remind me of quail. Yeah. Quail come in and out of the food forest here. Yesterday, a big hawk. Well, he wasn't that big, actually. He was a juvenile. He came right into the house chasing the little birds at the feeder, and he'll grab squirrels and whatever little creatures, right? And yeah, so he came right into the kitchen. I thought he was going to get cut because he started landing on the wine glasses and grabbed the wine glass, and he tipped over because he's too heavy for the tall wine glass. And he was a young Cooper's hawk, I think. There's quite a few different hawks, falcons and eagles and owls, raptors here. There's quite a few. There's kestrels. There's Ritter's hawk. There's red-tail hawks, and all kind of them. And we're right on southern Vancouver Island, so you don't know, like mostly in the coming into the spring, they show up. As it becomes more spring, they'll migrate a little bit. And the American kestrel, he'll fly all over the place as soon as it starts getting warm. But that's the guy to watch at the bird feeder. So what I do is I put the bird feeder underneath Fountain of the Valley, some cover, and so that it's harder for the hawk to get at them and see that they're there. Because I like to watch the chickadees, snowbirds, and juncos and bush tits and stuff like that. I like to watch them too. And sometimes I see birds I don't know what they are, but I have my book there and I try to look them up quickly. But they're very fast. They're very fast. We have Barracks, Leghorns, Blue Azures, etc. Nice. And Gail found Danny and Lorraine. Good. I saw that cute hawk, Danny and Lorraine. So, yeah, very cute. He was very sensible. He calmed down. I put him on the spatula, and I said, "Okay, buddy, you have to go now." He came in right here. He came right in and flew through the dining room and into the kitchen. And yeah, great catch and release. Well, most animals are not really afraid of me. I can hand feed deer here out front with like apples, or they like sugar cubes too, but I don't have sugar cubes here very often unless someone leaves them here. They'll eat. They really like fig leaves, and so they really like them. And they'll eat any deciduous leaf that even evergreen, like laurels. They'll eat laurels even, or I even seen them eating the yew tree, the Harrington yew, which is extremely toxic. Except the berry isn't, but the seed inside the berry of the Harrington yew you ain't coming back. You're no longer looking at daisies. You're looking up at daisies at the roots. Because and people don't eat that, but deer have amazing ability just about eating it. They took out my row of hyacinths. Hey, they were just coming through. They were pink, blue, and yellow and white hyacinths. They had a great feast. There's probably 25 or 30 there. And they ended up with most of them. They left me one here and there. I like to smell. The smell is very prolific of hyacinth. So I ended up, my good friend bought me a hyacinth. She bought it, and I didn't even have the heart to plant it. I just put it in the hanging basket with a Donovan's primula. And I was just like, okay, you could sit in there, and when you walk by, you get a little slight smell. But that nice row of hyacinths, I have grape hyacinth here too, but they don't really smell. Hey, How to Garden. Hi, Glenn. How's it going? Hey, Mother Earth Garden Club. Welcome. Boy, you guys just jumped right in there. Thank you at Gail Southern Living. Got you too. Looking forward to watching your videos. Very cool. Very cool. Yep. Cheers. Happy Sunday. There's a lot of wildlife here. Once in a while, like every few years, you get a bear running up through the parks and stuff. But there are cougar that does travel through here. You don't see them, but I know they're there because I found where they pooped. You don't see the cougar. You don't see them. They're very elusive. They're professional. They're professional at hide and seek, and they're professional killer, really. So they remain hidden. Take care, everyone. I'm off to the farm. Time to collect some eggs. Well, happy egg hunting there, Danny and Lorraine. Yep. Cheers. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. And with cougars, there's some of them big mountain lion cougars here. When you get outside the city, there's some real big ones. Yeah. They have really long tails. You don't see them though. They see you. You'll be lucky a couple, 3 times in your lifetime to actually see a cougar. Guardian Prepping. Hello, all the way from South Africa. Good to see you, kind sir. Just talking about cougars and, well, where you are, tigers and lions, but pretty much the same long line of. Have a great day, Danny and Lorraine. From Dave Knight. Yeah, but they have them here. And then there's cats that have escaped from people, or people let them go. And I've heard reports here and there of different tigers and lions that are here as pets. So you know that there's the odd one, panther, whatever. I seen a black looking big cat one time, but it was from a distance. So I didn't know what it was, but you never know. It could be a cat outfit put onto a dog, made look like a cat. You don't know. People are weird, man. If there's a percentage, there's a possibility. Yep. And yeah, Danny and Lorraine are gone. They're going out to collect eggs. Isn't that nice? Hey, they have a bunch of different kinds of chickens too. And Dave Knight saying hi to GP. And oh, hey, make it by Mandy. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday, eh? Oof. I think I need another coffee. I think so, because this one's done. Interesting day yesterday. A hawk came into the house, and it was a Cooper's hawk, I think. So I got a little bit of video on it, a little bit, not a lot, but it was interesting to see. Yeah, he was friendly enough. He was pretty scared. Well, there's a video. I put a short up on it. He came in through the French doors, the sliding glass door, and he's chasing, I don't know, looked like maybe an American Dipper. He could have been a young robin too. I don't know. And well, he came in and he came through here. He tried going up through the skylight, but it didn't work. He was freaked out. Then he came back down, and then he went into the kitchen. And by then I got the camera, and I used the spatula. I opened the window first. Then I used the spatula and put it underneath him, lifted him up, and then I put him outside. But he was chasing the birds here. It's a food for us, so we're bird friendly. I'm very bird friendly here, because I like the birds because they eat all the bugs, and spiders and flies and mosquitoes, and like a hummingbird feeds their young mosquitoes, hey? So it's really nice to have lots of hummingbirds around. You don't have as many mosquitoes. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. But the different kinds of birds here attract a lot of predator birds. Quite a few, actually. A lot of owls, different kind of owls. Owls that are 5 inches tall to 2 feet tall. owls that scream like you wouldn't believe, and then owls that are super quiet. Woo, 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 woo. That's all you hear is those little tiny woo woo, and they're indigenous to the Gary Oak ecosystem, so they fit right in here. But when you go out here and you're looking, you sit quietly. So you get to see all the different hawks, falcons, eagles, blue herons, you name it, it's here. Yeah, turkey vultures. They'll circle around here because I have a compost that brings them in if there's a bit of meat in the compost. They'll eat carrion, so this is the perfect place for them. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Hey, it was pretty cool. It was fun. He was a young one. There's a lot of trees here. Since I've been here, the trees have been. I give away trees to all the neighbors, so they've planted them too. So it's getting. If you go look at the satellite photograph the past years, you see lawns, then you see that I show up, and things are growing, and then the neighbors is growing, and it gets bigger and bigger, and then the odd time whenever they build something here, they just cut everything down and like all the old growth trees, and there's not many left. There's very few actually. There might be maybe 10 in my village. If you're lucky, you'd have to be bloody lucky at that to find that many. No, that's too much. Maybe 5. There was a row here of them, and they cut them down, and then there was a forested area right over here, and the old guy, he didn't pay his taxes, so they gifted it to the municipality that I'm in, and the municipality just sold it off and locked the whole thing. It was sad, man. There was a lot of it would happen in like early June, so maybe late May. Yeah, it must have been late May, early June. Yeah. So a lot of the little birds that were in all the nests, and it was an old growth forest. It was the last one around, and it was weird looking too because it was an old growth forest of cottonwood. So it was neat that the cottonwood would come off, and there's cotton underground, and you could hit it with your lighter, and it would go along the parking lot across from it, and it would just creep right through the parking lot. It's like, wow, that moves fast. It's highly volatile. Hey, so when we were younger, we used to have fun like that. It was fun, right? Who is far enough south that they are starting seeds? I direct sow now, lettuce, that kind of thing. Kale, just direct sow now. The soil's warmed up here now because it gets like 12 and higher now sometimes. I mean, it says it's only like 6 or 8 or whatever, but you go out and look at the thermometer and it says 12 or 15. It's because that just for like that hour or two from like 1 till 3, it really warms up good, and then it's down. That's the way have a positive effect on your village. So great. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've planted a lot of fruit trees along the boulevard, but sometimes they cut them down or people pull them out or they die. Well, not so much. Yeah, I've had a couple die. It's because I couldn't get to it and I was gone for a couple 3 weeks, and it hasn't seated yet. So yeah, that is sad. You would think they would be a rule about cutting down trees with creatures in them. No, the only rule here is make as much money as you can and don't get attached to anybody or anything. Basically, narcissism at its best. We see a few Cooper hawks here as well. I know they're cool. They're sleek, man. They go through the neighborhood, and they're not as big as other birds of prey. And that one yesterday, he was a young guy, but I might have seen his father or grandfather ram into this window. Whenever I clean the window, and I just throw seed on the deck there because the birds come in, they feed, and I can just watch the different birds. And but I'm getting a bird bath. decided that. And I'm making a smaller hoop house too. I'm making a small one. I'm not making a big, huge hoop house. I'm just making a small hoop house that's up as far as my knees, maybe my waist, and runs along the ground. That's it. I'm not getting bigger and bigger because really I can grow greens here pretty much all year round, except for like a couple months. It might slow down. Yeah, it's terrible when they cut down trees. There's one last old growth oak here, and it's at the school, and I'm expecting any day that will be cut down. It's the last one. It looks majestic. It looks like Avatar. It's just majestic, and it gives off a lot of food. All the acorns, tens of thousands come off that tree, and it's an old growth tree. But I noticed they've been cutting down a lot of the conifers around the outside of the school property because I guess in case it falls on the school, who knows what these people dream up. And but I just enjoy when I see the old growth oak, and I just enjoy it. And I try not to pay too much attention to it, because you get attached to it, and then they'll come next week and cut the thing down. There is no other one like that I know of. It's the oldest one. It's been here before colonial contact, which is a very long time ago. It's at least 300 years old, maybe between 250 and 300 years. Somewhere around there. Like, that's a pretty old, and then it's loaded with food. I never seen so many acorns in all my life. The little acorns never get a chance to grow. I mean, they grow up a little bit, and then they come along and they mow it. It's like, and people are always, trying to save the Garry Oak ecosystem. Well, first of all, you got to stop mowing all the little acorns that are trying to grow. Hi, Gail, or gearing up to grow. Huh? We see if you go out to garden, Gail. What will you grow in a hoop house? Well, it's just to start off to have tomatoes in there. Like, I'll put a row of tomatoes there. It's mostly for hot weather crops, not so much cool weather crops, but I'll put a shade cloth on it and take the plastic off and have that as summer progresses. If I'm growing like lettuce and arugula, I really like arugula. Hey, KP Heathen, I just watched your video. Hey, Shawnee Gross. I knew you were here. Go to channel, make sure it's KP Heathen. And then, yeah, it is, because I watched that kidney beans planted. Yep. My R went back from 70%, must be area, went from 70% forest in 1900 to 77% in 1970, now back to 16% forest. Interesting, hey? Someone I know used old hula hoops. Oh, nice. That'll work to make a hoop house. They also used an old broken trampoline. Yeah. To make a larger one. I love the recycle ideas. Absolutely, KP Heathen, saying hello to Shawnee. Yep. I watched your video on your planting kidney beans. Must be warmer there. That's a good idea on the hula hoops. I never really thought of that. I always used a stay in the ground here and a stay in the ground there. Then I put the PVC pipe on it and I bent it over and put it there. And then I just threw plastic over and made a bunch of ribs of them. But that sounds like a better thing. It was 83. Wow, that's nice and warm. It's not 83 here. That's for sure. I think you're on. Yeah, I'm on Celsius. You're on Fahrenheit. So it's a little different. Yeah. Oh, I would love 83. Oh, I know. That would feel just almost like Hawaii. You know what I do? So the car is black, hey? So it warms up in the sun. So around 1 o'clock or 12, between 12 and 1, I go run out there, open the door, jump in. Oh, feels like summertime. I have all kinds of heat here, electric heat, wood heat, and a gas heat, but nothing it feels like that summer heat, that warmth from the sun. There's nothing like it. My animals love going out laying, and like my little doggies, they go out and they lay in the sun and even roll around with their belly. They're like very playful, hey? Yep. Gail Southern Living says, hi to Mother Earth Garden Club. I found your channel. That's very good. Yep. It's 60 here right now. That's not too bad. I've been looking at the ocean, having my coffee and listening. Good. I've been looking at the ocean. It's nice days. And thinking about the fresh codfish or halibut or maybe even a salmon would be nice. I see jumpers. I've seen sea run cutthroat too. You sit at the beach with your binoculars, you see some cool stuff. Oh yeah, definitely have to have a feed of fresh lemon sole or something. There's all kind of fish out there. I've been thinking because I ended up trading for a scuba wetsuit type thing and some mask. Now I'm looking at the spear gun. So I'm not well enough to go underwater, but I have a friend that is. And go get them. But some sea urchins too, and some abalone, and something like that, some scallops, and something like that. Grab a few crabs there too while you're down there, right? Have your little net bag with you. You can pretty much go anywhere like that here. There's lots of that here. Lots of food here at the ocean. There's more than enough for everyone too. It'll never run out here. Pollution might get it, but well, good friend, that will allow you to get more variety. Yeah. I keep gifting them all the snorkels that I bought and mask and the suit. I traded for the suit, but nice suit. I traded for three of them. And then I have my own anyway in case I go overboard and I got to go out in rough seas, man. I want my wetsuit, I'm going over. I want to be comfortable, just bob around in the ocean, right? I have to run my fans in the greenhouse on sunny days. Nice greenhouse there you have, Mr. Knight. Good to see you again. Stay warm and dry. And good seeing you again, buddy. Happy Sunday. Oh, you have to run your fans. Oh, you're not leaving. I have to run my fans in the greenhouse on sunny day. I bet you do. We always opened, had a window up top, and it would just pull out the air because it got warm anyway. And then, the fans work really, really good. That it's an absolute must-have. Fresh air running through, especially in the heat, man. You do a good job. You grow a lot of food. I'm impressed with your abilities. You had to. It took a little bit to learn all that, but it takes time to have new skills. And it's really important to be able to throw down and grow your own food. It's so important. I know people say they're a survivalist or they're a prepper. Well, I like to think of myself as a naturalist. I naturally sow my seed at the right time of year. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that right now. And I've put up a videos or two of it before. And I direct sow just about everything now. I no longer, except maybe tomatoes. And you know what? I don't even have the direct sow. A bunch of those different cherry tomatoes. They all grow here. Even if I didn't plant a tomato would grow and I'd still get some kind of tomato here. Because they grow out of the compost too, or out of the pathway soil bank. And avocados grow out of there, lemons. What else grows out of there? I don't know, a bunch of different things. It's neat to see in the pathway soil bank what comes from your kitchen waste. Hey? Oh, I've seen when I threw out the bottoms of celery and bok choy, that all regrew out of there. So just goes to show that, you know, if you put that on top and have a little organizing, you know, you just don't throw it all in like old Howie here. I've been throwing it all in there and just layering it for years, but I've got some pretty nice soil. But today I'm making a video of the flower bulb planting, because there's a couple of ladies coming over here and they're going to help plant the bulbs. They're friends of mine, so they come over. That's something that they do, and they have, like, one lady's like, "Oh, I've got to look for my bulb planter." She has a bulb planter. I said, "Well, what I do is I have a piece of dowel, and it's 6 feet tall, and I just sink it in like 2 or 3 inches, whatever's needed, and just put the bulb in." She's like, "Oh, that'll work." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's been working pretty good for me for years." It's just one less tool, and you know, you don't have to bend down or get down on your mat or anything. It's just put the dowel into the ground by about this much, and then pop in your Casablanca lily or, you know, whatever you're planting. Right? It makes it's ergonomic, and I like that when I'm growing food. I don't want to do a bunch of work. I don't like weeding at all, and I rarely do any, unless it's like morning glory or something. You'll never get rid of that, or bindweed. You're not going to. You may think you've rid yourself of it, but there's seed in the soil. It's not going to happen. You can actually probably outgrow it. Like if you're growing like wheat or something, or lawn grass, so like say Kentucky bluegrass, it gets really dense and then it can't live there. Or bamboo, it won't. Bamboo will take over where bindweed is, but then you've got a bunch of bamboo. You can't win for losing. Yeah. A lady I know used fans on her seedlings as well. She said it strengthened them for being indoors. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, that you need airflow. The stomata picks up carbon dioxide. Okay, and that's food. CO2 is food. It's 20% of the complex molecule building of when photosynthesis happens. So it's very important to have. My puppies climbed onto my lap and are a natural heating blanket. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, you are getting started on wedding flowers? Oh, yes. I made the beds yesterday. Well, I made one giant bed. I have to make another one running parallel from east to west in the food forest on where the sun hits, because that's where I'm putting all the sunflowers. And I don't know, I got like a few different kinds of sunflowers. So I've been looking for those blue ones, but I haven't found them yet. The snow melted and the leaves I chopped in the garden are like powder. Nice. That's what it's all about. Oh, you are getting started on. Yep. Oh, yeah. My puppies climbed into my lap. And yep. And Adrian, welcome. Good to see you, Adrian. Wow, that's a good copy. But yeah, it's Sunday and it's spring's already sprung here. The cherry blossom trees are just loaded. It looks cool to see, but I didn't take a video. But there's lots here now. Rhodos, like those pink indigenous ones, Rhododendron americanum or something like that, or it could be the other way around. Don't quote me. Can't remember. Getting old. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But I walked through this complex that was just built about 10 years ago. They have a private walkway through where the swamp used to be. And that's where the rhodos are. And they're all in bloom. I was just like, wow. There was no bees on them. I was listening and looking, but it was still early morning too. But, it was nice to see the rhododendrons. I always find it interesting how we are so close, but you are weeks ahead with things like cherry trees, etc. Oh, they've been out for a while. They actually came out when it was still snowing. You could see blooms here and there, but now that's really prolific. And it goes by the daylight hours, whether it's freezing or not, it's going to start blooming. And there's many kinds of cherry blossoms, and they're really not cherry blossoms. They're more like plum blossoms, but they get stuck with the cherry blossom name. And then there are cherry blossoms here from Japan. Those rock. They have Floribunda on it, and they have like a lot of blooms on it, like multiple, and they're all curled. That's the real deal. And yeah. People saying hello. I always find it interesting how we are so close, but you are weeks ahead with things like cherry trees. Yeah. Everything's here is up. Not everything, but most everything except apple and pear trees. That kind of thing is not blooming yet, but everything else is. Yeah. Anything with a pit, like a single pit, they're all blooming, and some of them in really advanced state. I've been looking at them for a while, but I noticed them like a month ago when one or two little blooms happened here and there, and I'm like, it's 10 below tonight or whatever, right? It's like, that's just weird. But what it is, it's not temperature so much. It's the daylight hours. There's a built-in mechanism there. I have to take a cart of sorts to the greenhouse from my heated garage. Free sun. Smart. If you want to grow a bit of food for yourself, just follow Dave Knight. He's got it down pretty good. He even uses his tractor to his advantage, which is really, really good because you can grow a hell of a lot more food. The thing about flower bulbs, they come back every year by themselves, year after year, unless you have to take them out of the ground. And then you have to replant them like gladiolas. You'll have to take them underground where you are. Here I can leave them in and just cover them with some mulch and sandy soil. And they do really well. But it's different place in Canada than like from east to west coast. It's and even if on the west coast, the further you go up north, that you're getting into colder places, and it doesn't take much. Like we get the warm breeze called marine temperate climate off the ocean, and from like there's Nia Bay to Seattle, and then there's like the Strait of Juan de Fuca there. So you get these nice warm, southern, southwest or southeast. You're right in the strait there, and it can just come right on to where we are, and it gives us a little better weather than most places in Canada, or if not all. It's different here. It's that's why the homeless flock to come here, because it's a little easier to stay alive outside. Of course, if have a few skills, you can stay alive anywhere outside. You just have a bit of common sense about you, and learn to grow food, make soil, get some goats. I have to do. Make It by Mandy says, how does a person find out what the name of fruit trees they have are, like the kind of cherry, apple, pear, etc.? Well, the fruit growers of British Columbia, fruit tree growers of BC, they have the Saanich Fair every year. That's how I find it, what I have, because they have them all laid out. This is Anjou, this is Bartlett, this is Bosque. Whatever it is, they have them all lined up, and there are a lot of different kinds of pears, and there are a really lot of different kind of apples. And that's how I do it. You can go online and look at it too. And BC fruit tree growers, there's a bunch of them, and they'll have catalogs there, match it up. Now, every now and then, like what happens here. I have my own kind of apples because I grew the seeds. Some, not all of them produce food. Some didn't do anything, and some gets one apple on it. So, and then some grow for 10 years and then just die, or 5 years and die. So, because you're opening up the gene pool when you plant the seed from like apples, pears, plums. So you're going to, it could be very similar or if maybe even the exact same, but sometimes it is not. You're going to get maybe a new type of apple. I have that. Here. I just went and found one in the wild, like growing, and it always had lots of apples and they tasted great. And I went, well, this one's for me, because it was less than 5 kilometers from where I live. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to grow that seed. And I did. I grew a few of them and gave some away. And I also grew some of these horse apples too, because I wanted to see the gene pool in that. And they lived for like 5 years and then died. They lived 5 years and died. So I just gave up trying to replicate that and just make an air layered clone. You're going to get different outcomes from whenever you grow something. If you're going to clone it, then you have to copy or graft it. Yeah. Make it by Mandy. Okay. Winters here always claim a few homeless. So sad. Yeah, they freeze to death, or they overdose, or some have even starved to death. They're just paranoid. They don't want to see anybody, and they just run wild in the bush. And some make it though. I've seen wild people in the bush. It's really interesting to see them. It's actually a bit alarming because you don't know what the hell you're dealing with. Like, some of them got some pretty wild eyes, man. It's like, holy shit. But I bumped into 2 people before that lived out there, and that's kind of rare. Usually it's one. Growing on Vancouver Island, good morning. Hey, sunshine. Yes, love it. A lot of home are at capacity by 4 or 5 p.m. Yeah. Dig a cave, make a cob oven, get an RV, save your pop cans, whatever the hell you got to do. Get out of the cold, right? Tent it, tarp it, sleeping bag it. There's ways to live on this, on Southern Vancouver Island. It's really easy living here. I mean, if you're really that desperate, you can find an abandoned house and just break in, and chances are there's even electricity to it. You see them, they're boarded up. It's like, not a lot anymore like you used to, but there's plenty of backyard sheds and stuff like that. Greetings, Mandy, Mother Earth, and Howie from Growing on Vancouver Island. Hey, I just watched your videos, a couple of your shorts and a video. What was it on? I watch a lot of videos. Sorry. Oh, yeah, the cat. That was a very friendly cat. That cat recognized you or something. It was really weird. It's like the cat knew you or been watching you or something. Maybe that's what it is. The cat noticed that you're a nice person. So then that's what I'm thinking. Because it had behavior like that cat knew you or something. It was very strange. Yeah, very strange. But exciting too, because the cat must have been watching you. Good day, Dave. Yep. Saying hello to Dave. Where's Dave? Dave's not here. Oh no. Growing on Vancouver morning, Adrian, Shawnee. Oh, that's a good greeting and salutation. Wonderful. The cat is more friendly than my old dog. Yeah. Yeah, the supervisor there. Yeah, I missed that guy. I thought that was a cool dog. I like dogs, cats, and birds and whales. And yesterday a hawk came into my kitchen, so I had to use the spatula and put him out. And I was looking at him, and now I watched the video. I know what he looks like when I see him in my binoculars, because he feeds at the food forest here. There's quite a few of them, actually. Sometimes the bird population goes way down, but I try to grow cover for them. Wow, hawk in the kitchen wild. Yeah, there's a short up on it, and it's pretty cool. he came in through the sliding French window doors here. He came right in, and then he went up into the skylight, but he didn't like it up there. And then he came down and he went from the dining room to the kitchen, and then he got caught. He seen the light in there in the window. He tried to go there, and he landed on the wine glasses with the tall arms on it. And when he grabbed a hold of it, it tipped over, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's breaking the glass. So I grabbed my camera right away, and I started filming. I had like about maybe 20, 25 seconds of video. And so I knew right away that he was panicking because he kept hitting himself against the glass. And I thought, okay, he's got to get out or he's going to, injure himself. So I put my spatula underneath, and he went right on right away. And I talked to him, and then I let him go. He was a young juvenile, but he feeds here every day. He has to eat one of the little birds here every day, or a squirrel or a mouse. Maybe that's why I don't have very many mouse problems. But I have 2 little dogs, and there's feral cats here too, and there's lots of owls. I see some people that go on YouTube and they're talking about how they got mice problems and rat problems. And I'm like, well, where's the owls and coyotes? Right? Coyote, you're not going to have any rat problems if you let the coyote do his range. Yeah. I'm going to look for that. Hey, enjoy your video. I think sometimes animals can be here to deliver some kind of message. Well, yeah, I could see that. A few years ago, I had amaryllis blooming. Mine is blooming in full bloom. The queen. That's what amaryllis means, the queen. Interesting. I love that flower. A few years ago, I had amaryllis blooming on my kitchen, and a hummingbird came in. Yeah, I have that here, and they come to the window and they tried to go in through the window, but they can't. So I put it outside. I did a live stream recently where I put it outside because I put it out there in the morning, and they get a little drink, right? Or put it right beside it. Make It by Mandy. I felt lucky to see hawks, owls, and ravens here. Yeah, there's lots of ravens and crows here too. There's the secret garden lady. When she walks her dog, all the crows follow her. Like lots. They even land beside her and walk with her. And I'm like, okay. So I watched her intently how this is going on, but then I noticed she had little tiny kibble from the dog food kibble, I guess, and every now and then, not very often, she did throw. I didn't know what it was, but that's why them crows are there. They know her. They have facial recognition. They recognize you from your facial feature. Yeah, scary. I've been attacked by crows before. There was a nest in the hedge. When I'm cutting the hedge, they come right out and just hit you. They don't really hurt you. They kind of hit you with their wing, kind of. That's what I felt. I felt lucky to see hawks, owls, and ravens here. We will get stellar jays and many little robins. Well, there's robins here, but they're not little. They're big, fat robins here because they eat well at the food forest here. They eat the worms, stuff like that. They eat the bugs. I watched them. One time a woodpecker was tapping on my neighbor's roof. Was so loud. Yeah, they have pileated woodpecker here, and they actually make homes. I did a video on that, on the pileated woodpecker home they made here along the trail. It was an old tree, and they put some holes in it, but pileated woodpecker, it doesn't really like it down that low. Like they made it too low. They cut the tree off too low. The tree should have been much higher. Like the home they put into the old dead, well, it was a live cedar then. They were making them out of live cedar. So they're trying to get the pileated woodpecker, like Woody the woodpecker, the big red head. They live here. They're very rare now. I used to see them once in a while when I first came here, but I haven't seen one for a few years now. They just simply are not here. If they're not here, you're not going to see them, right? But their range was here, but they've cut down. Like there was some really old growth trees here over the past few years, and they just get cut down, and their range is gone, right? So they were really the coolest bird. They intrigued me. They're able to. It was interesting. It reminded me of a human being because they could tap into a tree and make a hole and crawl in and survive. That's impressive. Oh, I love coffee in the morning. But lately I've been having tea for some reason. I used a kitchen towel to cover him and gather him in and released him. The hummingbird, I picked them up. Yeah, you just picked them up. Yeah, there's a video on there, Saving Pete. Little Petey, that's what we named him. I've saved quite a few little hummingbirds. Aqua Donkey Prospecting without getting a headache too. Okay, let's go see Aqua Donkey Prospecting. Oh, cool. Godlike bit of gold. Awesome helicopter, so hardworking. And you play music. Oh, looks like a good channel. And you look for gold. And I'm not subscribed, but I will. Go and look at it in a little bit. I'm not subscribed, so I'll go and look at it there for sure. I remember you sharing the video of PD. You saved him. Oh yeah, I put sugar water on the end of the Q-tip. They had a little tongue would come out and take a drip, because I found him. He was dead. He wasn't moving, and he had fallen out of the skylight, and he was on his back on the arm of the couch, and so I picked him up. He wasn't. There was no movement, so I put water from the reverse osmosis machine and just laid him in there and soaked him in there, and then I put some in my hand and put him in there. And then I seen the tongue come out of his little beak, and I went, "Oh, he's alive now." And so that was kind of cool, Took a long time though to look after him, like over an hour. I looked after him, and then my best friend was here for a little bit and looked after him too. But I've saved other ones I found on the ground. The mother would be still bringing little bugs to them, but they've fallen out of the nest. So if the nest is up too high, then you're not going to get to it. So just make another nest, cut a bottle in half, put some hay in there, and put them inside, put them underneath the nest. And then the mother will see that and then go in there and feed them and take off. That gives them a little bit of protection from, a crow or hawk of some kind, or a cat, or even a rat would kill them and eat them. So you're giving them a little bit of an edge in life. I've done that quite a few times. It's fun to see them. And Petey, he flew around here for a long time. He always hung around and beep, beep, beep. And you knew it was him. And it's like, okay, buddy. Because he never really went far. He took off, but then he came right back. He was very happy to be able to fly again. He must have thought he wasn't going to fly. But he was a cool little guy. A lot of hummingbirds come in here now and they fly around. And birds come in and sit on the floor and pick off stuff off the floor, like drop seed from the balcony. But I don't want them pooping in here, so I closed the door. I don't want them. Yeah. I remember you sharing the video of Petey. Yeah, I loved Petey. He was cool. He was thankful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every time I heard him, or I was working in the food forest, I had to harvest something. He's right there, man. He was like a pal. I must have flown south and not come back, because they do. If you don't feed them here, they'll go south. But then when winter sets in and they are caught here, that's when you do feed them. That's the point where there's a shift. You have to realize that. that now is the time to feed them because they're coming from south to up here and they're going to be tired and need a good drink. And there's not much around, but it is happening a lot more now that the blooming is set in. But still, I keep it going because there's ones that are coming here that need this rest. I have a rest there. I notice there's not as many anymore of hummingbirds, but every now and then one still comes and rests on it. It's stuck to the window, and then they can have a drink. But I notice there's not as many because there is blooming action. Billions of blooms right now. Hey, so they're in paradise. I love watching hummingbirds. I think they're the coolest thing in the world. They can just sit there. It's like a bee. Bee uses vibration to float along. It doesn't fly. The wings are for steering it around. Yeah. But the vibration, that vibration is pretty cool. Creatures are smart. They learn the kindness and know they are safe. Yeah. Hummingbirds in flight are amazing. I can sit and watch and be captivated by that all day long. If that's the rest of my life, I'll be very happy. Wherever I go on this planet, I always look for the hummingbird. We had a few hummingbird moths last year, pretty wild looking. Hummingbird moths. I think I've heard of that. That's very cool. Hummingbird moths. Yeah. The June bug has always fascinated me. They come to the light here, and then they're cool. You want to see aliens? Go check them out. I need some more coffee though. Mother Earth Garden Club says, I have many birds at the feeder all winter. Sparrows, buntings. Yeah, buntings are cool, eh? Blue jays, plus the resident squirrels. We usually have stellar jays here, but they disappeared a few years ago when they cut down the bigger forest here. Their range isn't here anymore. They went the way of the woodpecker. The pileated woodpecker just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it does if you go further afield into there's still like a little tiny bit of the ancient rainforest left. Not very much. I wouldn't even say 1% is left. That's a lot of destruction, man. That changes the world. This is a huge lung the rainforest of British Columbia, Alaska, Oregon, Washington State is different than anything you'll ever see. And it's a huge lung like the Amazon in Brazil. It's a huge lung for the planet, for air. It's disappearing pretty fast. I'm not saying not to log. I mean, let's just do it sustainably. Cutting it all down and selling it to overseas countries, I mean, that takes no talent. Yeah, I think it's about maybe 1% of the old growth left, if you're lucky. You might hear higher, but that's BS. I know I'm out there. I've been out there. Looks like a moonscape when you drive along it. It's really freaky to see. Starting to regrow now, but yeah, to see the forest missing sucks, to put it bluntly. We had a few hummingbird moths. Hey, I got to check into that. That's cool. I've heard of that, though. I have many birds at the feeder. Nice. I love dragonflies. They're cool, hey? And haven't seen many of those the past couple of years at all. I put out sticks here, and they like a stick in the sun. They like to sunbathe and watch the forest. So I leave stays here and there just for them. They mate on them, too. And so I watch them, and there's 3 kinds here. Yeah. They'll bite you if you're bothering them, but they look cool. They're true aliens, those guys. They're looking at you with those huge eyeballs. It's like, holy moly. Silly Lily, good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. Yep. Hummingbird moth, tomato hornworm. Oops. Oops. Good question. Good question. Unknown. Good question. Good to see you. Oops. And with a question. Hey, you're supposed to have a greeting and salutation. Oh, yeah, I'm a Blue Wrench, so that's a pretty big greeting and salutation. My suburb has many huge elm trees. Okay, good morning, Oops. My suburb has many huge elm trees. Sadly, almost all ash trees are dead from bug emerald borer and fungus too. Fungus has taken them out too. But yeah. Good morning, all. Yeah, Mother Earth Garden Club. Very cool. You know what? In all my time of growing tomatoes in the food forest, I've never seen a tomato worm. Maybe once, like 15 years ago or something. The birds would just eat them. Yeah. And I let my wasp nest live here. I do not disturb my wasp nest, whether it's, even if it's inside the house, in the attic. I'm not touching it. I want that here. Or barn, or I'm saying I don't have that. Maybe on the eave way up top, there's a little railing there and it's inside there a little bit, but that's not inside the house. That's still outside. But, you know, you got balance with birds and wasps. Wasps eat the moths. They attack them viciously, voraciously, and you know, and the owls and hawks here, they clean up any mice. If you got mice problems, and some people usually do, an owl house, if you don't have owls already in your neighborhood, which probably do in the city, they just crawl into any hole that's dry, and they're really smart. And put your pathway soil bank or your compost in the center of a cleared area, and have some places up high that the owl could sit, or the screech owl comes through and screams, and then the little mice or rat moves, and boom, they've got them, right? It's all in how you play the game. You know, it's as simple as that. I like owls. I have 3 or 4 types of owls that live around here. Yeah, I'm happy with that because they clean up the mice. You know, there's the odd feral cat, and there you go. No mice problems. Well, you might have a mouse problem, but I've never lost any food. Well, no, I've lost some figs to a Norwegian roof rat. He was really slick. He was all gray with a white belly. I'm like, man, and he could stretch and get right over there, and he'd eat these figs. And first, I just let him do it, but then I realized he's eating a lot of figs, and he has friends. So I shooed them off with the dog, and now the dog knows that when they hear them out rustling through the fig tree to bark, and then they're gone. They might still get one, but I still get lots of figs. So but they can't hang around here. Yep, smart. Nope, me. Okay, good morning, all. Man, nope, me either. I don't know what a hornworm is. Well, I do know what it is, and I've heard of people having them, but I just don't have them here. Smart man, don't disturb a wasp nest unless you're prepared to run. Yeah, same with ant nests, you know. About touching them. I have 2 dead ash trees, and the tree people want $2,000 to take it out. Good luck finding that money. Well, just cut it down partially and leave it for owls and hawks or woodpeckers or whatever, you know. Don't even take it all the way down. Just take all the branches off of it. Dead tree. Good morning, Space Rangers recording studio. Cycle of life if you disrupt one, like ridding wasps, you upset the whole system. Yeah, I don't disturb the natural ecosystem here. And I inoculate the forest floor with mycelium, different ones that I want to eat, like the different jelly mushrooms, peach jelly mushrooms, stuff like that. I really like that. And there's some coral mushrooms I like. And I'm not into the psychedelic things, but people do it, but I'm not. I'm inoculating with my leftover lion's mane. I'm putting that out. I put my citrus out yesterday, my Valencia lemon tree that I grew from seed. I put that out, and some of the lemons come off during its transport out from the skylight outside. And then I put it in the shade for a couple, 3-4 weeks, depending on what kind of weather I get. And I felt safe enough that it's not going to go down below 12 below for an overnighter. That would be about as much for one night that I could take, and I'd lose a few leaves. But I don't think so, because I'm smart enough to put a shield on there. It's called a blanket. Just put some stays in that 100-gallon bucket or whatever it is, 70-gallon. I don't know. It's more than 50 and less than 100. So you put stays around the lemon tree, and then you throw a blanket over it, and that'll keep that heavy frost from doing any cellular damage. Black snow. Okay, where are we here? Okay, cycle of life. If you just, yes, absolutely make it by Mandy. And good morning, Howie. Good to see Space Rangers. Black snakes eat rats and mice. Yep. Morning, Space Ranger. Morning. I watched red ants on the march across my driveway. I stayed well away. Well, they can bite you. Sure, fire ants. There's this guy down the road. Well, there's two. They live across the street from each other for some reason. And they both spray Roundup and Killex and stuff like that. So they couldn't buy it here anymore in this municipality. So they just go to a different one and get it. But it's still illegal to spray. But I see them when they're going and the dandelions in the driveway. Like, Jesus. And anyway, they sprayed so much around there was an imbalance, and all these army ants. I don't know if they're army ants. They were wood ants. They eat wood. So they went to the locust bean tree and ate it, and it started dying, and big, huge arms start falling off around the house. And I thought, well, geez, it's a matter of time before one hits the house. And they're pretty heavy. They're not light wood at all. And yeah. So that imbalance and just a huge ecosystem there. So, and then the municipal government came with workers and sprayed this heavy insecticide all over that area. And I just went, wow. And I live here, So you know what the ants did? They migrated. Sure, they killed whatever up top, but the ants aren't stupid. They left, and they went to all the neighboring properties. And I just went, freaking cool ants, man. They really, they knew they were bad people, and they left. I thought that shows some kind of intelligence, because that's what I would do. I can't climb up trees, take limbs off. I'm too old. Yeah, there's always someone that'll climb up there and put a rope on it. And when you're hiring a tree company, there's tree companies, and then there's tree companies that are just like one or two guys, and they show up and do some tree pruning, but put an ad on Marketplace for the cheapest one. Maybe you can get that for half that with a, plead that you're just struggling along and tell them the truth. And look, I don't have a lot of loot. Garage sale, to help pay for it. Bottle run could bring in, 10, 20 G's in a weekend, and you got a bunch of people to go and do a bottle run for you. There's a few ways to get money, hey? And now that you can just give a number to the bottle depot, and anybody that wants to donate their bottles can put it onto your charity or your cause or whatever it is. There's ways around things, and the gatekeepers are a problem. People at the bank. They're a problem. They got friends called the CRA or the IRS or whatever. There's plenty of tariffs. You don't have to have new tariffs. We're surrounded by them. Yeah. I like the dandelion. Yep. Yuck. Okay. Mandy don't like something. I love dandelions. Dandelion syrup. I watched your video on that. Are the first things I make and can each year. I noticed that's smart. Your liver just loves you, huh? Do you have a recipe, Mandy? Sounds amazing. Cool. Space Rangers Recording Studio. Young dandelion leaves in salad are a great bitter for digestive health, and roasted dandelion root is a great sub for coffee. You betcha it is. Some things that I know I just don't think of until someone else mentioned. Oh yeah, like I knew about. I have actually coffee root dried, and I've eaten them, but they're really healthy for cleanse. Explain a bottle run. Oh, a bottle run is where you take all the recycling in your locale. So how you do that is you go out and you put on a piece of paper that you're doing a bottle run, and you need to cut a tree down that's dead in the neighborhood. Could you put them out on this Saturday or Sunday or this month or this day here on a long weekend? And then you go around on that route with your vehicle and you pick them all up. So you can make a few hundred, even $1,000 on that just by yourself. Now, then there's the going to the depot, like Return It. It's called Return It here. And you go and you show them your cause, and you're collecting for this cause, like a community garden you want to build or whatever it is. And they put you on the list. So when people come there to deliver their bottles, then they don't want the money, and they don't want the problem of going through it. Then the bottle depot takes a little bit of the money and then gives you the rest. And it takes a little bit of organizing, and but it can be done. And there's other ways too. Like once people know you in your neighborhood, they'll put it out for you on certain days. You get organized. And then there's recycling days like Blue Bend. So that's a bottle run. I hope that helps you well. Explain a bottle run. I hope that helps you well, Mother. Where are we? Good idea, Mandy. Explain. I don't know what Mandy is. Yeah, I said yuck due to the spraying of chemicals in your yuck. That's appropriate. Eesh. It's egregious. It really is egregious. Abhorrent. The disgusting. I hate it. If I hate it, that means I fear it, and I do fear it. I've seen too much damage from it, from people walking their dogs, or the stray cat or your cat walking over where they sprayed, licking it off their paw. Neurological disease, they call it, when the vet does an autopsy. Not nice. Good morning, Vay. Hey, Verna. And hello. I pick my dandelions, Silly Lily says, before we take out the rider mower for the season. Smart. It's packed full of nutrients. It's nature's vitamin pill, really. And the root. Don't forget the root. The liver. Cleanse the liver. Everyone here recycles with their garbage fund. Huh. Never heard of selling bottles. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. You had pop cans, pop bottles, beer cans that must go on there. I think you're in Ontario, aren't you, or something? No, you're in Minnesota. No, maybe you don't have a recycling program there. Some places in the States that's littered with pop cans and bottles because there's no return it incentive. Not a lot anymore. A lot of them have changed. They may not have bottle deposits where Mother Earth is. That's possible. That's very possible. Encourage one. Yeah. Approach foundations too if you need money for a community garden or something like that. A lot of foundations, you have to present a plan, and then they'll vote on it whether you get the loot to, for seed or soil or whatever the heck you want, right? Everyone here recycles. Okay. Huh. That's weird, Mother Earth. Hi, silly Mother Earth Garden Club. Howdy. They may not have. Yep. It's a lovely Sunday morning. It sure is. It's cloudy here, and it's, I don't know what the degree is. It doesn't show it anymore. They quit making pop bottles in the States for returning. That's, well, I don't know. That's just, if that's what you want to do. Look at pop bottles and cans everywhere. Well, you can put a return deposit on it for a nickel. Now, you can all afford a nickel. There's plenty of folks that are poor that would pick that up. There, it pays for itself. Just common sense to have your village looking good, and they quit making. Okay, I used to collect bottles and return them for money. Used to. Wow. In the States, they encourage with their words, but their actions discourage. Wow. I don't know what IMHO is. So Ken and I met a guy who purchased 3 homes over the years by collecting bottles and returning them to the bottle depot. Yeah. These houses were on the very affordable side, but just the same, mind blowing. Yeah. I seen Boy Scouts collect 40 G's in a weekend. So that ain't jump change. I've even heard of 90,000 from a group. I think it was like a soccer teams and baseball teams. And they all went out and collected it. They had like an army. They had collection points set up for when they put the marketing tag in your mailbox, that you could bring it here on that day as much as you can. They even had metal like copper and aluminum. They had it going on. I was just like, wow. It's available money. Make It by Mandy says you could still collect the aluminum cans and take them to the metal recyclers. Yeah. I think it's $3.90 a pound. So hey, yeah. Danny and Lorraine back from the farm. Danny got another rabbit this morning. Nice. Mandy, around here, they closed the metal recycling plant that the homeless used to clean up to make money. Gatekeepers, hey? They're everywhere. Wonder what organization they belong to. They, Now I make music to try and make a little bit of money. Yeah, money streaming is the way to go now. Every little bit here and there, or big bit, small bit, whatever. By the end of the week or month or year, how much you got. The city even charges to pick up recycling. Oh yeah, here too. I don't have any though, so they had to take money off the tax bill, because I recycle everything myself, my kitchen waste especially. The odd time I'll put out a few blue bins, but it takes like months of gathering it up because I don't have anything. And just most of my waste goes into the food forest. And I could let that sit for a year, 10 or 15 years. So that way it really, the microbes have broken down any, toxins, made them inert or whatever, The longer you leave it, the safer the soil will become. There's a reason, yes, there's a reason schools, associations, etc. do bottle drives, brings in big bucks. Oh, yeah, for sure. I have a kid's book on my channel. Oh, very cool. I have sold tomato and peppers on starts. Yes, that brings in quite a few dollars. Starts in the spring and flowers. It's all these little money streams that you don't really think of. Your creative side, the right side of your brain, you're using then. So it's cool to see stuff like that. Well, I need to run. Bye, Mandy. Thanks for being here. Time to get the day started. Much love to you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. You as well. Thank you. Did you hear my latest song, Howdy Melody of Love and Drifting? No, I'm sorry I haven't, but I shall try to make it there and check it out. Blessings, Mandy. Make it by Mandy. Bye, Mandy. Well, you're loved, Mandy. Well, I have to wake a friend up and go and see them. So I must say bye for now as well. Thank you all for being here. And it was fun. It was nice and relaxing Sunday and jibber jabber about everything and nothing. I like it. So y'all have a great day and peace and love. And Vay, nice to see you again. I was just at your live. It was fun. Blessings on a happy Sunday. And signing out now. Take care, folks. Nope. Cancel. Okay. It's not letting me end stream now. Okay. Aquadonkey prospecting. Gotcha. Got to go and look at that. Take care, Danny and Lorraine. And now, bye.